Hey, it's Sarah here. Welcome to MLM Marketing Explosion. Would you like to know the fastest way to have people throwing out your name into groups and the fastest way to become an expert?
How are network marketers like us supposed to rank, advance, and build a downline without begging our friends and family or having supermodel good looks? My mind was blown when I realized that the top network marketers aren't calling their friends and families to invite them to lame hotel meetings and in-home meetings. I've spent the last 2 years learning from and dissecting the system that top earners in the industry use. Follow me on the journey as I continue to learn and implement the top marketing tips and strategies to grow my downline. This is Sarah Peterson, and you're listening to MLM Marketing Explosion.
So today's Valentine's Day, and it really got me thinking because I've got on my social media sites, I've got a whole bunch of pictures that are blown up, and I love my spouse, I love my family, all this other stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of people that are totally ignoring the day, and then there's also a whole bunch of people that are totally kind of sort of anti-Valentine's, if you know what I mean. They're throwing out the "I'm so sorry if you're single" kind of posts, and "I used to be single, I wish I wasn't single," whatever, that whole big mixture, right? And it kind of got me to thinking, because I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's Day. When I grew up, Valentine's Day was a huge deal at my house. My mother had it's actually a tradition from my grandmother. My mother had this really pretty decorative hat box, and inside there she'd hide little presents that she'd wrapped for each of us kids. And there's seven of us, and then they were all wrapped up in this Valentine's wrapping paper, and they were attached to like a string, and the string would wind all around the table and it would be underneath your glass. So the whole dinner you'd wait to for that moment when dinner would end, when you get to follow that string back to whatever present you got. And the whole premise behind the present was that it had to be something that was red. It had to be like a Valentine's kind of thing. And that was a fun tradition. And I can still remember growing up, even as a little kid, going over to my grandma's house and making doily Valentine's cards. I don't even know if they sell those anymore. You know what I'm talking about, the little doily. I never passed them out of class, but I always made them at home, and spending all that time making those awesome Valentine's boxes that you'd bring into school and you'd pass out Valentine's. And sadly to say, I don't remember doing a ton of that with my kids growing up. I didn't have the fancy hat box, but we did indeed, follow the string back to the fun present in the middle of the table. And I tried to make it a really special day, but I don't remember doing big Valentine boxes at school. It wasn't a huge deal. It seems like a lot of the holidays around here are not such a big deal, which is kind of sad. But anyways, so as I was looking at all these different threads again, I was thinking about how much I hated going off to college, because I swear every single year I was the gal without the Valentine's Day, right? And I remember one year in particular, a friend of mine, we weren't like super close friends, but we were friends, came over. And half the reason I remember him is, I'm not exaggerating, I think he was 6'5" or 6'6". So whenever I was with him, I like felt super tiny. But he showed up at my apartment that night, and all of my roommates were gone. They all had dates, and he showed up and he's like, "Let's go out." And he totally took me out. And I remember thinking at the time, um kind of what a pain it was, because of course the waits for the restaurant were hours long and we were just friends. But I thought that that was so thoughtful, and I've never ever forgotten that he thought of me and cared enough about me to not let me sit home alone in my apartment. And anyways, flash forward, now I'm doing marketing, right? And I've noticed a trend. I see people's names popping up in different groups all over the place, right? It's like, "Hey, if you need this, go talk to so and so. Hey, if you're looking for the most awesome whatever, go talk to this person. Hey," and interestingly enough, it seems like the same people are always kind of shouting out each other, right? Which goes back to, who do you know, right? And they're not fake shout outs. They're not to be pretentious. It's not like a ha 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 kind of thing, or, I'm going to get an affiliate or whatever, right? No, they're very genuine connections. And yet they've created connections that are so strong that they go in and they promote the other person. Now, I know that this seems a little bit counterintuitive, right? Especially if you're in network marketing, because you're going, "Why am I going to promote someone in another company that is quote unquote my competition. Now, I've got to warn you, lots of times if you try to do this with team members, it comes across as very ingenuine, right? Oh, you're just driving your downline. Have you ever done that? Like you'll post something and all of a sudden everybody on that news feed is going, ooh, gotta buy that, or I gotta know more, or whatever. And they're all in your downline already because that's pretty easy to see through, especially when it's very consistent, right? But when you find those people maybe in another company that are really killing it, give them shout outs in these groups. And the groups that you can, hey, if somebody's struggling, it's, hey, I tagged so and so in this, they're awesome. And then that so and so can come in and, they can kind of help the other person out or whatever. And in return, I almost guarantee that they will do the same stuff back to you, especially if you're already friends. And in fact, I'd make sure you are already friends, right? And like I said, I wouldn't even do it within the same company. It's so much more powerful if you're not. And what goes around comes around. But as you do this, as you give these shout outs to the other person, as you spread the love and make it genuine, right? Hey, if you need help with such and such, go check out, this person. They're killing it. You're just gonna love what they've got going on, or go join so and so's group or whatever, right? It never, ever, ever hurts to build up another person. And as you do that, it actually builds you up. Is that weird? It's kind of cool how that works. So that was just a couple of thoughts for today, but go into some of these groups, make friends with some other network marketers that you really like. Start asking them what they do. Start sharing what you do. The more transparent you are, the more that you genuinely care about other people, the faster your network marketing team is going to grow, the faster you become an expert, the faster you learn these skills, and the faster everything becomes better and this whole industry is elevated. Thanks for watching today, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Are you tired of bugging your family and friends and bumping into the same people all over social media trying to pitch your opportunity? If so, grab your team members and go to www.marketingexplosion.org and pick up your free copy of MLM Momentum. It's going to teach you how to get people coming to you and applying for your opportunity. It's also going to teach you how to get paid for prospecting. See you soon.